Stephan Sterns, a no contest, a plea, a life, a sentence. I am absolutely livid. And with that, let's get into it.
MonkieMar covers true crime stories, the missing, murder, forensics, motive, suspects, trials, unbiased, no filter, addicted crime junkie, MonkieMar. Leave the hate at the door.
You know what just happened with Stephan Sterns? He took a plea deal, a no contest plea to murder and guilty of all those heinous SA charges. And why? To avoid the death penalty. In my opinion, this is not justice, people. This is a tactical maneuver by prosecutors using the ultimate threat, the death penalty, as leverage to secure a conviction and avoid a lengthy trial and appeals. And don't even get me started on Bryan Kohberger. We're seeing the exact same play here. The death penalty, which is supposed to be egregious crimes, is being used as a bargaining chip. This isn't about ensuring a fair trial or truly serving the victim. It's about control. And it means these monsters, who deserve the absolute harshest consequences, in my opinion, get to avoid the ultimate one because of a plea deal. My heart breaks for the victims and their families who have to stomach this. This isn't what justice looks like. It's infuriating. And I am so incredibly pissed off about it. And the fact that Maddie Soto's mom was not even there for the impact statements, you know what? You honestly need to be locked up and sitting in a cell next to your monster, a boyfriend. And let's listen in to a little part of Stephan Sterns in court today with the judge accepting his no contest plea deal.
Yes, Your Honor. 24 CF 632. Counts 1 through 8, the maximum potential sentence would be a mandatory sentence of life in prison without possibility of parole. 9 through 13 and 14 through 20 would be first-degree felony allegations with a maximum potential sentence of up to life in prison. You understand those maximum potential sentences on that case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that you have a right to have a jury trial as to each of these allegations? And at the jury trial, the state of Florida would have to prove those allegations against you beyond and to the exclusion of every reasonable doubt. At that trial, your attorneys would be with you. They are experienced, board-certified criminal expert trial attorneys. They would be cross-examining witnesses, examining the evidence against you. You would have a right to present your own witnesses and your own evidence. If you had witnesses that did not want to come to court, you could have asked me to make them come to court with a subpoena. You could have spoke at your trial, or you could have exercised your right to remain silent and not spoken. That would have been your decision after you talked those decisions over with your attorneys, and your jury would have been instructed not to consider your decision to remain silent in any way in rendering a verdict. You would have had a right to have your trial recorded and appeal any errors that occurred in the process. Do you understand you are giving up all of your trial rights if the court accepts this plea, because I will be imposing the sentence that you have agreed with the state of Florida to be imposed upon you, and we will not be having a trial on any of these matters. Do you understand those things?
I understand.
These are first-degree felonies. These are actually either capital offenses or punishable by life offenses. Do you understand that, Mr.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is anyone forcing you or pressuring you into make the decision to resolve your case this way?
No, Your Honor.
Has anyone made you any other promises other than what has been presented to you as the agreed-upon sentence?
No, Your Honor.
Are you under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or mental issues that cause you not to understand the decision that you are making?
I am not.
Ms. Smith, do you have any competency concerns regarding Mr. Stearns' fitness to accept this plea agreement?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Borden?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Stearns, based on your responses to the court, based on your indicating that you have reviewed this decision with your attorneys, based on your initialing of the plea form and your acknowledgement that you understand all the terms and conditions, rights and obligations on these plea forms, including the addendum, the court is going to make a determination that you are alert. You have had an opportunity to discuss this with your attorneys, that you are making this decision freely and voluntarily and without coercion. The court accepts your plea, the plea of no contest as to 24 CF 1293, first degree premeditated murder of Madeline Soto. Mr. Stearns, how do you plea to first degree premeditated murder in 24 CF 1293?
No contest.
And as to counts 1 through 8, capital sexual battery of Madeline Soto while she was under the age of 12. Counts 9 through 13, sexual battery of Madeline Soto between the ages of 12 and 18. And counts 14 through 20, lewd or lascivious molestation. How do you plead?
Guilty.
You can probably tell that I am absolutely infuriated with the outcome of Bryan Kohberger and Stephan Stearns. As far as Stephan Stearns and my thoughts, what made him snap at the end with Maddie? Was he going to get caught? I always had in the back of my mind, was she with a child? Do I want to know the details of that horrendous situation between Stephan Stearns and Maddie? Absolutely not. But I do know that people like Stephan Stearns in prison, he is going to end up being somebody's a bitch, in my opinion. And I hope so. I hope they make his open population a living hell. And you know what, Stephan Stearns? I cannot stand your voice. You make me absolutely sick. And what Maddie's mother ever saw in you is besides me. And if she knew what was going on and she did not protect her child, she is going to get a full circle of karma. I honestly believe she may not be the sharpest tool in the shed, but did she know what her daughter was going through and didn't put a stop to it because she didn't want to lose Stephan Stearns? I have to honestly believe deep down in my soul that she didn't know. And if she did, I have to honestly believe that she would have been arrested. Did she make a plea deal? I don't know. Is that plea deal broken and now that Stephan Stearns took a no contest plea? I don't know. Tomorrow, July 23rd, at the Ada County Courthouse in Boise, Idaho, with a public seating, will be on a first come, first served basis. The hearing for Bryan Kohberger is expected to last most of the day. Most of us know last week Bryan Kohberger pleaded guilty to the murders of Ethan Chafin, Xana Kernodle, Kaylee Goncalves, and Madison Mogan as part of a plea deal. This deal means he will avoid the death penalty and is expected to receive 4 consecutive life sentences without parole, plus the maximum penalty of 10 years for a burglary. The families, and this is what I want to hear, of the victims will have the opportunity to make a statement to the court expressing the impact of the crimes on their lives. Some families are expected to read their statements in court. And I hope the Goncalves family reads theirs in court because I want to hear what Steve has to say. And then Bryan Kohberger will have his chance to speak, an allocution, a statement to the court where he could explain his actions, express remorse, or say anything else he wishes. However, we know that he is not obligated to speak. I think part of the deal with Bryan Kohberger, in my opinion, he should have been able to stand up in court and face the families of all 4 of his victims and explain the who, the why, when it started, all of it. Or personally, I do not think either one of these monsters should have gotten a plea deal. I am going to play a little part of Ashley Banfield's Drop Dead Serious. She had Matt Murphy on 2 days ago from California. And let's hear what he thinks is going to happen to Bryan Kohberger when he goes to jail.
And I'm here for life. I'm going to adjust to my new circumstances and take my classes and work in the shop and whatever they have him doing. So I think it is a little bit different. Now you're right. They do adjust to death row, but I really do think that it's something, that specter hanging over their head does have a psychological impact, especially in a state like Idaho, where he faces the very real prospect of actually being executed. Now the good thing about what the DA did here, and I'm not 100% on board with this decision at all, but the good thing is there really is a exhaustive appellate process on death penalty cases.
Do you think Bryan Kohberger is going to speak? Me personally, I think he is a PUSSY. Do I think he is going to speak? Absolutely not. And then we've got the lifting of the gag order. A sweeping gag in the case was lifted last week after Kohberger's guilty plea. This means more information about the case, including hundreds of sealed documents, will eventually be made public, though the unsealing process will take some time. I do want to read those documents, definitely. I do not like murder scene photos. I do not want to hear about what the victims went through, but I like forensics. I love the forensics on how the monsters are caught. So I think that is going to wrap up this video, but I definitely want to hear from you. But with that, guys, it is a wrap. Everybody, thank you for coming in. Please make sure you click that like, the subscribe, and the bell for notifications so you do not miss the next time we drop a video. Everybody, have a good day or a good night wherever you are in the world, and stay vigilant. I am out.